This is what Ethan Klein from H3H3 Productions used to say about social justice warriors.
Today, guys, we bring you the most triggered woman I have ever seen. But how does a social justice warrior react? This will shock you. I feel like at this point, nobody is going to be taking these social justice warriors serious anymore. The cult of being offended. The cult of outrage.
And now Ethan has become the very social justice warrior checked into the cult of outrage that he used to expose.
They're like piranhas, they're vultures. They're just scavenging for any bit of outrage that can get their hands on, dude.
Welcome back to High Impact Flicks. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and subscribe to me on all my alternative media sites. Those links are in the description. Roll the intro. Hey guys, one of the reasons I promote things on my channel is because I use them. And I use them because I believe they benefit me. They help promote strength, endurance, and energy. Energy? I give you some freaking energy around here. A lot of nature's top fruits and vegetables that support a healthy heart, circulatory system, and high energy happen to be red. So come on, spit it out. Where do we get some of this red stuff? I drink Eternal Reds because it's got 8 specific foods that promotes energy. And these foods would be costly and time consuming to get in your typical diet. So click the link in the description and grab some energy.
I feel like this video perfectly encapsulates how crazy the social justice warrior shit has gotten, how sensitive these people are.
Next thing I want to talk about is what's going on here with Ethan Klein and Jordan Peterson. This is what Ethan Klein tweeted years ago. I interviewed Jordan Peterson before I was very familiar with his politics. He was an interesting guest who I enjoyed sitting with, but especially now, I can see he's a dangerous gateway to alt-right transphobia and COVID misinfo. I removed both interviews today, and it's almost like he did that for a vain seal clap. Ethan Klein used to have actually good and thought-provoking content where he wasn't playing left versus right paradigm politics. Now, he's basically the doorman for the left. And we're going to get to Jordan Peterson's measured, calm, non-ad hominem response here in a second. And the maturity level of Ethan Klein actually shows through on this. Jordan Peterson schools, I hate that. Just Jordan Peterson responds to Ethan Klein on cancel culture after YouTuber deletes videos. Says the internet is filled with countless individuals who are willing to denigrate themselves in exchange for attention and profit, but few are as prominent as YouTuber Ethan Klein, aka H3H3 Productions. He's the one who just a week ago or less had this big, and I don't even think Joe Rogan took the time to respond to him because it was all just complete nonsense. Ethan Klein basically is a champion for the big farm guy industrial complex cause. Ironically, Klein rose to fame on YouTube by making comedic videos about crazy, eccentric, and insincere people online. And yes, he did. And yes, it was very good. Yes, it was funny. It was powerful. It drove the point home in a funny and entertaining way. Yet much has changed since the old days of YouTube, as has Klein. Since hitting a lull in his comedic YouTube career, Klein pivoted to podcasting and has hosted numerous famous figures, including Dr. Jordan Peterson, whom he hosted twice. And wait till you see some of the great things that he used to say about Jordan Peterson. But now, all of a sudden, Jordan Peterson is a dangerous gateway to alt-right transphobia. Wait till you see some of Ethan Klein's rhetoric from past episodes that he hasn't deleted from his YouTube channel. The success of his podcast led Klein to collaborate with various leftist commentators, including Hassan Piker. The two now have a show together called The Leftovers. The Leftovers. The evolution of Klein's politics. Whenever you take a left versus right paradigm lie approach to life, and you put yourself in one camp over the other, and while you may criticize your camp lightly, you're really going after the other side, you've checked into the cult of personality. The ideological cult of personality. You're going to follow the left. The left is the hill that you're going to die on. And all of a sudden, you've walked away from principle. You've walked away from what is right. You've walked away from objectivity. You can't be objective if you're left or right. You can't. You just can't. By its very nature. It's like if you call yourself liberal news or conservative news, neither of you can call yourself objective, and therefore neither of you can call yourself news. And that's not real journalism. A journalist doesn't take a side. A journalist is like a bloodhound. He just wants to look for the truth. And when he finds it, he puts it in his mouth and he holds it up and he goes back to the hunter and he goes, here's the truth. I don't know if it's red. I don't know if it's blue. I don't know if it's a donkey. I don't know if it's an elephant. But you wanted me to go after the truth, and here it is. Let the chips fall where they may. But people like Ethan Klein go, oh, I'm going to go out there, but I'm only going to find the blue herring. I'm only going to pick up the blue decoy. And I'm going to show you this right here is what the truth is, and everything else, it's evil, and it's dangerous. And it's a dangerous gateway to the alt-right. Man, when people start talking about that, you know exactly where they're coming from. The evolution of Klein's politics is a metaphorical licking of the finger and seeing which way the wind blows. Well written. Who wrote this? Angelo Isidoro. Sorry if I slaughtered your last name. Well said. Well said. It's a metaphorical licking of the finger. It's an ass kissing, is what Ethan Klein's doing. You can tell that he has no interest in the truth or what is right or what is principled or who's principled. No interest in disagreement. Okay, so now you disagree. You didn't disagree with him then because you had him on an hour or two show and you had an opportunity to disagree with him, but now you're going to throw him under the bus, so to speak, by eliminating those YouTube videos that had him in it. So what's the point of your disagreement? And we're going to find out. Jordan Peterson kind of asks him that question. It's a relatively recent evolution and is heavily tied to whoever he is currently collaborating with. So basically, Ethan Klein from H3 Productions is like a reed just swaying in the wind. No mooring, no anchoring, no principled base, no building your house on the rock. It's all sandy stuff. However, a new identity comes with a new audience who may see Klein's old associations as verboten. Peterson is one such forbidden figure for the Klein's new subscribers. Years ago, I interviewed Jordan Peterson before I was very familiar with his politics. He was an interesting guest who I enjoyed sitting with, but especially now, I can see he's a dangerous gateway to alt-right, transphobia, and COVID misinfo. I removed both interviews today. Ethan Klein's got a big thing with Convid 1984 by George Orwell misinfo. And let's really call it what it is, because that right there is a euphemism. Big farm guy misinfo. Big pharma industrial complex misinfo. Anything that rivals or questions or criticizes or just has the audacity to hesitate against the big farm guys automatically in the minds of mainstream media, people like Ethan Klein, the fact checker, the infamous fact checkers, the gods that have come down from on high, from Mount Olympus to save us with the facts. They've basically cemented themselves in this cognitive dissonance where they are the gatekeepers for the big pharma industrial complex. How ironic, man. How ironic. Klein attests that he was utterly unaware of Peterson's politics, which is an insincere position, as Klein has outwardly praised Peterson in the past. And this guy right here who wrote this says, yes, his advice in your podcast with him, which focused on bettering your life, is truly dangerous stuff. How soon until your new zeitgeist determines whether humongous, which is something that Ethan Klein made fun of years ago, and rightly so, because it revealed feminism and snowflakeology is too dangerous. Klein said in an introduction to Peterson on his podcast, this is Klein talking about Jordan Peterson. He's an incredibly educated, well-spoken, and insightful person on pretty much every topic. Wow, what a glowing review from Ethan Klein toward Jordan Peterson, whose videos he just took down off of his YouTube channel. The love didn't stop there. In Peterson's next appearance, Klein said, today's guest is the great and wonderful, and one of our all-time favorite guests, Dr. Jordan Peterson, who has graced us with his presence yet again. Just sounds like an ass kisser. Even ass kissing Jordan Peterson right here. Really demeaning. Klein also lauded Peterson's book 12 Rules for Life, saying he read it and loved it. Nonetheless, the Ethan Klein of 2017 was no more, which is a disappointing shock to not only former fans like myself, but Peterson. A lot of people liked Ethan Klein. I didn't know who he was back in his heyday when he was, making fun of, leftist, rightist. He wasn't really taking a political position, it didn't seem. So here's what Jordan Peterson says in response to H3H3 Productions tweet. He says, "What are you up to, Ethan? We had a good conversation. I enjoyed meeting you and talking with you. What have I said precisely that motivated your actions and your accusations, deleting our discussion? An honest question." And then Peterson says, finally, H3H3 Productions, "You might seriously consider providing me with the footage so I can post it, given that I agreed to appear on your show based on the agreement that there would, in fact, be a show." So let's see. I saw a response. We'll talk about this in a second, but I saw a response from H3H3 Productions to Jordan Peterson, and I think I lost it. But basically, it was a comment about conversion therapy in Canada being banned. Conversion therapy is like this psychological thing where you try to convert a gay person to becoming straight. And Trudeau actually banned the practice in Canada, which is ridiculous. And H3H3 had something to say about that. Here's what Peterson also said: "You will be held to a higher and higher standard, and soon impossible to maintain ethical standards by the very mob you currently wish to please. Then you will make a mistake, and they will devour you with glee. Please take this warning seriously. I liked you." Past tense. And then he also says, "Also, I should warn you that those who engage in cancel culture generally live to regret it. I'm not going to come after you, except politely in this Twitter stream, but the chickens will definitely come home to roost. We've seen that time and time again. That is what happened." And what's funny is Andy No dug this up from the H3H3 podcast that Ethan Klein saw fit not to delete from his YouTube channel, where he says, "I love saying the N-word, F-word." Andy No says newly surfaced video of Ethan Klein shows him using racist and anti-gay slurs. Why don't you go after him, leftist? Klein deleted his old interview with Jordan Peterson yesterday, claiming the professor is hateful and a gateway to alt-right. Listen to how Ethan Klein says, "I love saying N-word, F-word."
The kind of guy who his slogan is jacket. And I'm not going to get in trouble because I'm just quoting him.
I think so.
So it's just been around the block.
Yeah.
Everyone's just been borrowing it from each other.
Yeah.
Good whore. It's just a wonderful string of words that really gets you going.
Can you imagine if Dan Bongino said that? And I'm only saying him because he's totally on the right and CNN's totally on the left. Can you imagine if Joe Rogan said what Ethan Klein is saying? Even just quoting somebody else and just keeps... Guys, he's not done yet. He's going to keep on saying this. They would have you for lunch, but now it's like, "Oh, I didn't hear Ethan Klein say anything. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Homophobic? Nope, never heard of Ethan Klein being homophobic. White supremacist? Oh, he can't be a white supremacist. He's Ethan Klein. He's a J. Okay, supremacist. He's acting supremacist over black people by saying that.
Fuck you. I love that I can just say though. String of words that really gets you going. Fuck you. I love that I can just say though. I love saying
I want to tweet him right now and go, "Hey, Ethan Klein, hey, H3H3 Productions, do you like saying N-word, F-word? Do you like saying that?" And then if he says no, then you lied back then, or are you lying right now? Should we really trust you? Aren't you acting like a supremacist? What would you say if somebody else said this exact same thing? A lot of people are going, "Well, he apologized to that. He apologized about that." Additionally, Klein played a significant role in the Humongous story. Rudy Pantoja, a.k.a. Humongous, went viral in 2015 after being harassed by an angry feminist on video. This feminist accosted the man, demanding to know his name. He replied, "Humongous," causing the feminist to shriek and be detained by police. Klein's video on the subject is titled Crazy SJW Gets Triggered Feet Humongous, has 7.8 million views as of the recording of this video. Pantoja became infamous due to Klein's coverage, and the two even had an interview together. However, a lot has changed since 2015, and Klein's promotion of a vile patriarchal bigot such as Humongous would not fly today. Not in Ethan Klein's audience. But now, because Ethan Klein has bent the knee and really took his pants down and bowed down over, forget about the KY jelly. I'm just here for the seal claps and the ass kissing. Truly, the Ethan Klein of 2022 acutely resembles the crazed feminist who accosted Humongous all those years ago. It's perhaps not a stretch to also say that Ethan Klein of 2022 would likely be a subject of comedic ridicule by the Ethan Klein of 2016 that we all loved. And that's really a good point. So you can see how somebody's mentality changed because their ideology changed, and their ideology changed because of the cancer, the left versus right paradigm lie. And that's why I constantly talk about it. It is a cancer that consumes people's minds and eats away at their hearts. And this is what they do. This is what they descend to. Non-principled beings who don't have a problem making the world a worse place like Ethan Klein is doing.
Guys, we already know that they want to decimate the dollar, destroy the economy, bring us into a cashless society, and eventually make it difficult for us to even get food. That's why I constantly promote My Patriot Supply. Every chance I get, I turn my fiat currency notes into long-term storable food. This stuff is awesome. It's got a 25-year shelf life. And one thing we're all going to need is storable food. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. With my link in the description, you get $100 off of every order instantly. It'd be a good idea to order it while you can, because I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be able to ship this out. My link for your $100 off discount is in the description below.